The shocking betrayal. The text that shattered everything. Welcome to Crownfire Tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The champagne was already poured. The dress was already on. In exactly 4 hours, Sofia Martinez would walk down the aisle and marry the man she'd loved for 6 years. But right now, staring at the text message on her phone, she couldn't breathe. I'm so sorry. You deserve to know the truth before you marry him. Check the cloud folder I just shared with you. A friend. Sofia's hands trembled as she clicked the link. Her bridesmaids were laughing in the next room, music playing, mimosas flowing. Her mother was downstairs directing the caterers. Everything was perfect. Everything was exactly as she'd planned since she was a little girl. The folder opened. Video files. Dozens of them. Dates spanning back 2 years. She clicked the first one. The screen filled with an image that made her stomach drop through the floor. Her fiancé, Marcus Blackwell, the man who'd proposed to her on a beach in Santorini, was kissing another woman. Not just kissing. His hands were tangled in her hair, her legs wrapped around his waist, pressed against the wall of what looked like a hotel room. Sofia's vision blurred. She clicked another video. Same woman. Different location. This time they were in Marcus's office, the one with his name on the door at Blackwell Industries. The one where Sofia had brought him lunch 100 times. She kept clicking. Each video was a new knife to her heart. Marcus and this woman at restaurants, in his car, at the lake house that was supposed to be their special place. In the most recent video, dated just 3 days ago, Marcus was lying in bed next to the woman, stroking her face. Just a few more days, baby, Marcus said in the video, his voice tender in a way that used to be reserved only for Sofia. Once I'm married, her trust fund transfers to our joint account. I'll have access to everything. Then we can be together for real. The woman giggled. You're terrible, Marcus. That poor girl actually thinks you love her. Love? Marcus laughed, a sound that made Sofia's blood turn to ice. I loved her father's money. $43 million, Isabella. $43 million. That's worth a few years of pretending. Sofia dropped the phone. The room spun around her. 6 years. 6 years of her life. Every kiss had been a lie. Every promise had been a transaction. Every moment of tenderness had been a performance. The woman behind the betrayal. A knock on the door made Sofia jump. She quickly wiped her tears and cleared her throat. Sweetheart? Her mother's voice was bright, excited. The photographer is here. Are you ready for first look photos? Just give me 5 minutes, Mom. Sofia heard her mother's footsteps retreat down the hallway. She picked up her phone with shaking hands and scrolled through the videos again, forcing herself to look at the woman. Really look at her. She was beautiful. Sleek black hair, perfect skin, designer clothes. But there was something familiar about her face. Sofia zoomed in on one of the photos. Her heart stopped. She knew that face. She'd seen it in Marcus's office. On his desk. In a silver frame next to his computer. My executive assistant, Marcus had said when Sofia asked. Isabella Crane. She's been with the company for 3 years. Very professional. Professional. The word made Sofia want to scream. She opened her laptop and searched Isabella Crane's social media. The woman's Instagram was private, but her LinkedIn was public. Executive assistant at Blackwell Industries. Before that, she'd worked at several high-end companies, always in executive support roles. Always for wealthy men. Sofia dug deeper. She found a gossip blog from 2 years ago that mentioned Isabella's name in connection with a scandal involving a married CEO who'd emptied his accounts and run away with his assistant. The CEO's wife had been left with nothing. This was Isabella's pattern. This was what she did. She found wealthy men, seduced them, convinced them to betray their families, and walked away with the money. But this time, she'd chosen the wrong target. The decision. Sophia stood up and walked to the mirror. Her wedding dress was ivory lace, custom-made in Paris, fitted perfectly to her body. Her hair was swept up in an elegant updo. Her makeup was flawless. She looked like every bride's dream. But inside, she was burning. For 6 years, she had been faithful. She'd turned down job offers in other cities to stay close to Marcus. She'd supported his business when it was struggling. She'd used her own trust fund to help him expand Blackwell Industries when banks wouldn't give him loans. She'd introduced him to her father's connections, opened doors that would have stayed closed. She had loved him with everything she had. And he had been counting down the days until he could rob her blind. Sophia's phone buzzed. Another text from the unknown number. I know this is devastating. But you need to know something else. The prenup Marcus had his lawyer draft? It's fake. He never filed it. If you marry him today, he gets half of everything you own automatically. Plus full access to your trust fund. He's been planning this for years. Sophia's hands clenched into fists. The prenup had been Marcus's idea. I don't want your money, Soph, he'd said, looking into her eyes with that earnest expression she'd thought was genuine. I want you to know I'm marrying you for love, not for your father's fortune. Let's sign a prenup so there's never any doubt. She'd signed it, relieved and touched by his integrity. She'd never thought to verify that he'd actually filed the legal paperwork. Another text appeared. There's one more thing. Isabella is pregnant. She's 8 weeks along. She's planning to tell Marcus after the honeymoon, after the money is safely in his account. She thinks he'll leave you for her and the baby. Sophia looked at herself in the mirror again. At the expensive dress. At the diamond ring on her finger that had belonged to her grandmother. At the face of a woman who'd been made a fool. She could call off the wedding. She could expose Marcus right now, send the videos to everyone, humiliate him in front of 300 guests. But that would be too quick. Too easy. Sophia picked up her phone and dialed a number she hadn't called in 5 years. Damien Cross speaking, answered a deep voice that sent a shiver down her spine. Damien, Sophia said quietly. It's Sophia Martinez. I need your help. There was a long pause. Sophia. I never thought I'd hear from you again. Not after. After I chose Marcus over you? Sophia finished. Yes. I made a mistake, Damien. A terrible mistake. And now I need help fixing it. What kind of help? Sophia looked at her reflection one more time. The scared girl was gone. In her place was someone harder. Someone colder. The kind of help that destroys a man's entire life, she said. Are you interested? Damien's laugh was low and dangerous. Sweetheart, I've been waiting 5 years for you to call. Tell me what you need. The plan begins. 3 hours later, Sophia stood at the back of the church, her arm linked with her father's. The organ music swelled. 300 guests rose to their feet. At the altar, Marcus stood in his tuxedo, smiling that charming smile that had won her over so many years ago. Behind him stood his best man, his brother Tyler, and 3 groomsmen. Isabella Crane was sitting in the 3rd row, wearing a navy dress, her hand resting subtly on her still flat stomach. She caught Sophia's eye and smiled a small, secret smile. Sophia smiled back. You okay, princess? Her father whispered. You seem different. I'm perfect, Dad, Sophia said. And for the first time in hours, she meant it. The doors opened. The wedding march began. Sophia took a step forward, then another, walking down the aisle toward the man who'd betrayed her. Marcus's eyes were shining with what anyone else would think was love. But Sophia could see the truth now. He was looking at her the way a hunter looked at prey. She reached the altar. Her father kissed her cheek and sat down. Marcus took her hands, his grip warm and familiar. "You look beautiful," he whispered. "I'm the luckiest man alive." "Yes," Sophia whispered back, squeezing his hands. "You are." The officiant began speaking, but Sophia barely heard the words. She was thinking about the conversation she'd had with Damien. About the plan they'd crafted in those 3 hours. About the documents Damien was already filing with the court. About the private investigator who was currently copying every file on Marcus's computer. About the photographer who wasn't really a photographer, standing at the back of the church with a camera that was recording everything. "If anyone has any reason why these two should not be wed," the officiant said, "speak now or forever hold your peace." Sophia held her breath. This was the moment. This was where everything would either work or fall apart. The church door slammed open. Every head turned. A woman stood in the entrance, backlit by the afternoon sun. She was wearing a red dress that was completely inappropriate for a wedding. Her hair was wild. Her makeup was smudged like she'd been crying. "I object," the woman said loudly. "This wedding cannot happen." Marcus's face went pale. "What the hell? Who are you?" Sophia's mother stood up, outraged. The woman walked down the aisle. As she got closer, Sophia could see she was younger than she'd first appeared. Maybe 25. Pretty, in a girl next door way. "My name is Rachel King," the woman said, her voice shaking but determined. "And I'm Marcus Blackwell's wife." The church erupted. Gasps. Shouts. Marcus's mother screamed. Sophia's father lunged forward, but Sophia grabbed his arm. "His what?" Sophia said calmly, even though her heart was pounding. "His wife," Rachel repeated. She held up a piece of paper. "We got married 6 months ago in Vegas. I have the marriage certificate right here. This wedding is illegal. He's committing bigamy." Marcus found his voice. "That's insane. I don't even know this woman. Security, get her out of here." "Really?" Rachel's voice got louder. "You don't know me? Then why do I have text messages from your number? Why do I have photos of us together? Why did you tell me you were an investment banker who traveled for work, not the CEO of a company?" She pulled out her phone and held it up. On the screen was a photo of her and Marcus, arms around each other, standing in front of a Vegas chapel. Marcus was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, grinning at the camera. The date stamp on the photo was clear, 6 months ago. The church descended into chaos. The truth unravels. Sophia watched Marcus's face carefully. He'd gone from pale to red to pale again. His eyes were darting around like a trapped animal looking for escape. Isabella Crane had sunk down in her seat, her hand pressed to her mouth. "This is a setup," Marcus said, his voice desperate. "Sophia, baby, you have to believe me. I've never seen this woman before. Someone's trying to sabotage us." "Show them the messages," Sophia said to Rachel, her voice steady. Rachel nodded and started scrolling through her phone, reading aloud. "June 14th, can't wait to see you tonight, Mrs. Blackwell. July 3rd, the way you looked in that dress last night should be illegal. August 22nd, I know I can't tell my family about us yet, but soon, baby. Soon I'll be ready to go public." Each text was another nail in Marcus's coffin. The guests were murmuring, some crying, some angry. Sophia's mother looked like she might faint. "Marcus," Sophia's father said in a voice that could freeze fire. "Is this true?" "No. I swear, Marcus turned to Sophia, grabbing her hands. "Sophia, you know me. You know I would never." "Sophia knows exactly who you are," said a new voice from the back of the church. Damien Cross walked down the aisle. He was wearing a perfectly tailored suit, his dark hair styled back, moving with the confidence of a man who owned every room he entered. At his side was a man in a cheaper suit carrying a briefcase. "Damien?" Marcus's voice cracked. "What are you doing here?" I'm here as Miss Martinez's legal counsel, Damien said smoothly. And this is Detective Morrison from the Fraud Division. The detective pulled out a badge. Marcus Blackwell, I need to ask you some questions about financial fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy to commit theft. The blood drained from Marcus's face completely. I want my lawyer. That's your right, the detective said. But you should know, we've been investigating you for 3 months. We have emails, bank records, testimony from your executive assistant, Isabella Crane, who's agreed to cooperate in exchange for immunity. Every eye in the church turned to Isabella. She was trying to disappear into her seat, but there was nowhere to hide. Isabella's been quite helpful, Damien continued. She's told us all about your little scheme. How you've been running this con for years. How you identify wealthy women, court them, marry them, and drain their accounts. How you've done this to 5 women before Sophia. 5? Sophia's voice was quiet, but it carried through the church. 5, Damien confirmed. Rachel here is number 4. You married her to access her deceased mother's life insurance policy. $200,000. You took it all and disappeared. Told her you died in a car accident. She only found out you were alive when she saw your engagement announcement in the society pages. Rachel was crying now. I thought you were dead. I mourned you. And you were just moving on to your next victim. Marcus backed away from the altar. This is insane. You're all insane. Sophia, tell them. Tell them we're in love. Sophia looked at him. Really looked at him. At the man she'd planned to spend her life with. At the stranger wearing his face. Were we ever in love, Marcus? She asked quietly. Or was I just another number on your list? Of course we're in love. How can you believe these lies? I saw the videos, Sophia said. Isabella sent them to me this morning. All of them. You and her, for the past 2 years. Planning how you'd take my money. Laughing about how stupid I was. Marcus's mouth opened and closed like a fish. No words came out. And that's not even the best part, Sophia continued, her voice getting stronger. While you were planning to rob me, I was planning to ruin you. See, that prenup you think you tricked me into not filing? I actually did file it. The real one. The one my lawyer drafted that protects every penny of my money. But I made you think the fake one was real. She watched his face as understanding dawned. That business deal you closed last week? The one you were so proud of? The investors were actually companies I own through shell corporations. I now control 60% of Blackwell Industries. As of this morning, you've been voted out as CEO. The board, my board, has already elected a replacement. Marcus stumbled backward. No. No, that's not possible. And this church? Sophia looked around at the stained glass windows, the expensive floral arrangements. I rented it for today. But I also rented it for next Saturday. Because I'm still getting married next week. Just not to you. She turned and walked down from the altar. Damien met her halfway, and she slipped her hand into his. His fingers closed around hers, warm and strong. You and Damien? Marcus's voice was raw with disbelief. But you chose me. You left him for me. I left him because I thought you were different, Sophia said. I thought you were honest and real. But Damien's the one who warned me about you 5 years ago. He's the one who saw through your act. And when I called him this morning, heartbroken and humiliated, he's the one who dropped everything to help me. She looked up at Damien. He's also the one who's been in love with me since we were 18 years old. And this time, I'm choosing the right man. Damien smiled down at her, and Sophia saw everything she'd been too blind to see 5 years ago. Loyalty. Honesty. Real love. Mr. Blackwell, Detective Morrison said, pulling out handcuffs. We need you to come with us. As the detective led Marcus away, the con artist's facade finally shattered. He was crying, begging, promising to change. Isabella Crane tried to slip out a side door but was stopped by two police officers who'd been waiting. Sophia watched them go. She felt lighter than she had in years. Freer. Are you okay? Damien asked softly. I will be, Sophia said. She looked at the 300 guests, all staring at her in shock. She cleared her throat. Since you're all already here and dressed up, let's not waste the reception. There's an open bar and a live band. Consider this a celebration of freedom. Her mother rushed forward and pulled her into a hug. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom, Sophia said, hugging her back. I'm just glad I found out before it was too late. As her family surrounded her, offering comfort and support, Sophia caught a glimpse of Rachel standing alone near the door. She excused herself and walked over to the younger woman. Thank you, Sophia said. For being brave enough to come forward. Rachel wiped her eyes. I almost didn't. I thought no one would believe me. But Damien convinced me. Damien? Sophia glanced back at him. He found me 2 weeks ago, Rachel explained. He's been investigating Marcus since you got engaged. He said he couldn't let Marcus hurt you the way Marcus hurt me. Sophia's heart clenched. While she'd been planning a wedding to a con artist, Damien had been working tirelessly to protect her. He'd never stopped loving her, even after she'd broken his heart. What will you do now? Sophia asked Rachel. Start over, I guess. Damien's firm is helping me recover the money Marcus stole. And he's helping me file charges. Maybe I'll finally be able to finish nursing school. Sophia pulled a business card from her small beaded clutch. Call me Monday. My foundation provides scholarships for women returning to education. We'd be honored to help you. Rachel's eyes filled with fresh tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. As Rachel left, Sophia stood in the center of the church, looking at the ruins of her almost wedding. White roses everywhere. Candles flickering. The altar where she'd almost made the biggest mistake of her life. But she didn't feel sad. She felt powerful. Damien walked up behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling her back against his chest. You know, he murmured into her hair, I meant what I said 5 years ago. I'll wait for you as long as it takes. Sophia turned in his arms. What if I'm done waiting? His eyes darkened. Sophia. Next Saturday, she said. This church. Same time. But this time I'll be marrying someone who actually loves me. Someone who's proven he'll fight for me. Someone who's been right in front of me all along. Are you sure? Damien's voice was rough with emotion. This is a huge day. You don't have to make any decisions right now. I've never been more sure of anything, Sophia said. She stood on her toes and kissed him, soft and sweet and full of promise. I love you, Damien Cross. I should have said it 5 years ago. I should have chosen you then. But I'm choosing you now. Is that enough? Damien's smile was like sunrise breaking. That's everything. Behind them, Sophia's mother cleared her throat loudly. So, should I tell the caterers to save the menu for next week? Because that filet mignon was expensive. Sophia laughed, really laughed, for the first time all day. Yes, Mom. Save the menu. Save the flowers. Save everything. We're having a wedding next Saturday. A real one. As her family buzzed with excited conversation, already making new plans, Sophia looked at the man holding her hand. The man who'd never given up on her. The man who'd saved her from making a terrible mistake. Thank you, she whispered. Always, Damien promised. I'll always protect you. But what neither of them knew was that Marcus Blackwell wasn't going down without a fight. And Isabella Crane, furious at being betrayed and arrested, had one final card to play. The real revenge was only beginning. Heartbreak and revenge. The prison visit. 3 days after the failed wedding, Sofia Martinez sat in the cold visiting room of the county jail, separated from Marcus Blackwell by bulletproof glass. He looked terrible. His designer stubble had become a scraggly beard. The orange jumpsuit hung loosely on his frame. His eyes, once so full of calculated charm, were bloodshot and desperate. He picked up the phone on his side of the glass. Sofia picked up hers. "Sofia," he breathed, his voice cracking. "Thank God you came. I knew you'd understand. I knew once you had time to think." "I came to watch you suffer," Sofia said calmly. "I came to make sure you know exactly what you've lost." Marcus flinched as if she'd slapped him. "Baby, please. You don't mean that. What we had was real. I made mistakes, but..." "Mistakes?" Sofia's laugh was cold. "A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is leaving the toilet seat up. What you did was calculated fraud. You spent 6 years of my life planning to rob me blind." "It wasn't like that," Marcus said desperately. "In the beginning, yes, okay, I admit it. I approached you because of your money. But I fell in love with you, Sofia. Really in love. Everything after that first year was real." "Then why didn't you tell me?" Sofia demanded. "Why didn't you come clean? Why did you keep pretending, keep lying, keep planning with Isabella?" Marcus looked away. "I was scared. Scared you'd leave me. Scared I'd lose everything. Isabella, she had dirt on me from before. She was blackmailing me. Said if I didn't go through with the plan, she'd expose me to you, to the police, to everyone." "So you're a victim now?" Sofia's voice dripped with sarcasm. Poor Marcus, forced to betray the woman he claimed to love. "I'm not saying I'm innocent," Marcus said quickly. "I'm saying it's complicated. And I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Sofia. If you'd just give me a chance to explain." "No," Sofia stood up. "I came here to tell you something. The DA is offering Isabella a plea deal. Full immunity in exchange for testimony against you. Every email, every text, every recorded conversation about your scheme. She's going to bury you, Marcus." Marcus's face went white. "She wouldn't. She loves me. She's carrying my child." "Is she?" Sofia tilted her head. "Or is that just another lie? According to the medical records my investigators pulled, Isabella's had 3 pregnancies in the past 5 years. Convenient timing, always right when a relationship is ending. Funny how none of those babies ever materialized." Marcus's hand trembled on the phone. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying she played you just like you played me," Sofia said. "The difference is, she's smart enough to get out before the ship sinks completely. She's going to testify. You're going to prison. And I'm going to marry the man who actually loves me." "Damien," Marcus spat the name like poison. "You really think he's different?" "He's just another rich boy who wants what I had." "He had me first," Sofia said quietly. 5 years ago, I was his. And I broke his heart to be with you because you were so convincing, so perfect. But he never stopped loving me. He never moved on. And when I needed him most, he dropped everything to help me. That's real love, Marcus. Something you'll never understand." She hung up the phone and walked toward the door. Behind the glass, Marcus was shouting, his face red, his fist pounding on the barrier. But Sofia couldn't hear him anymore. She'd already moved on. Isabella's confession. That same afternoon, Isabella Crane sat in an interview room at the district attorney's office, flanked by her high-priced lawyer. Across the table sat Assistant DA Jennifer Walsh and Damian Cross, representing Sofia's interests. "Let's be clear about what we're offering," Jennifer said, sliding a document across the table. Full immunity from prosecution in exchange for complete cooperation. That means every detail, every communication, every transaction. You hold nothing back. Isabella's lawyer leaned over and whispered in her ear. She nodded slowly. I want it in writing that I'm protected from any civil lawsuits as well. We can't guarantee that, Damien said coldly. My client reserves the right to pursue damages against you personally. Then no deal, Isabella said, starting to stand. Sit down, Jennifer's voice was sharp. You don't seem to understand the position you're in, Ms. Crane. We have enough evidence to charge you as a co-conspirator. Wire fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to commit grand larceny. You're looking at 15 to 20 years. Isabella sank back into her chair, her perfectly manicured nails drumming on the table. What do you want to know? Start at the beginning, Damien said, pulling out a recorder. How did you and Marcus meet? Isabella took a deep breath. I was working at Belmont Financial 3 years ago. Marcus came in for a meeting with my boss. He was charming, attractive, clearly wealthy. We started talking, exchanged numbers. Within a week, we were sleeping together. Was he dating Sophia at the time? Jennifer asked. Yes. He told me about her on our second date. Said she was nice but boring. Said he was only with her for her money. He had this whole plan worked out. He'd been researching her family for months before he even approached her. Damien's jaw tightened. Go on. He said if I helped him, we'd split the money. $43 million, half for him, half for me. All I had to do was play the loyal assistant, keep my mouth shut, and wait. Once he had access to her trust fund, he'd divorce her within a year, claim irreconcilable differences, and because of community property laws, he'd walk away with half. But the prenup, Jennifer started, was never filed, Isabella confirmed. Marcus had his lawyer draft a fake one that looked official. Sophia signed it, thinking she was protected. But Marcus never actually submitted it to the court. It was worthless. So what went wrong? Damien leaned forward. Why did you turn on him? Isabella's mask cracked slightly. For the first time, real emotion flickered across her face. He started getting cold feet. About 2 months ago, he started talking about how maybe Sophia wasn't so bad. How maybe they could make it work. How maybe he didn't want to go through with the plan. He was developing actual feelings for her, Jennifer said. Maybe. Or maybe he just realized divorce would be messy and expensive, even without a prenup. Either way, I'd invested 3 years in this con. I'd turned down other opportunities. I'd played second fiddle to that privileged princess, waiting for my payday. I wasn't about to let Marcus bail on me. So you sent Sophia the videos, Damien said. Isabella smiled, a cold, calculating expression. I sent them to her the morning of the wedding. I figured she'd call it off, expose him publicly, and in the chaos, I could position myself as the sympathetic mistress who'd been manipulated. I'd already contacted several tabloids, ready to sell my story. Billionaire's fiancé betrayed by con artist groom. I'd make a fortune on the book deal alone. But Sophia didn't react the way you expected, Jennifer said. No, Isabella's smile faded. She was smarter than I gave her credit for. Instead of falling apart, she weaponized the information. She turned it into a trap. And now Marcus is in jail, I'm facing charges, and she's walking away clean. Not quite clean, Damien said softly. She's traumatized. She trusted the wrong person and nearly lost everything. That kind of betrayal leaves scars. Isabella shrugged. We all have scars. At least she still has her money. The casual cruelty of that statement made Damien want to reach across the table and throttle her. But he kept his composure. Tell us about the other women. The ones Marcus conned before Sophia. Isabella pulled out her phone and opened a document. There were 5. Rachel King was the first one I helped with, but he'd done it before on his own. Before Rachel, there was Amanda Hughes, married her for 8 months, took her settlement from a car accident, $300,000. Before Amanda, there was Melissa Tran, tech heiress, $6 million. Before Melissa. How many women in total? Jennifer interrupted. Including Sophia? 8, Isabella said. Marcus has been running variations of this con for 10 years. I've been helping him for the last 3. The room fell silent. 8 women. 8 lives destroyed. Millions of dollars stolen. You're going to testify to all of this? Jennifer asked. Every word, Isabella confirmed. I'll testify, I'll provide documentation, I'll wear a wire if you need me to. But I want full immunity, and I want witness protection. Marcus has connections. He's not going to take this lying down. What do you mean? Damien's instincts prickled. Isabella leaned forward. Marcus Blackwell isn't his real name. He was born Marcus Shaw, in Chicago. He's connected to some very dangerous people. People who've helped him disappear evidence before. People who've helped him skip town when things got too hot. You're saying he's organized crime? Jennifer looked skeptical. I'm saying his family has ties. His uncle runs a money laundering operation through a chain of car washes. His cousin does enforcement work for a loan shark. Marcus has always had a safety net. And right now, he's in a cell making phone calls, pulling strings. If he thinks I'm going to betray him, I'm a liability. Liabilities don't live long. The threat. That night, Sophia was alone in her penthouse apartment, going through boxes of Marcus's belongings that had been delivered from his condo. Damien had offered to stay, but she'd insisted she needed to do this alone. To face the physical remnants of her broken relationship and purge them from her life. She was throwing his clothes into garbage bags when she found it. A small black notebook, tucked into the inside pocket of one of his suit jackets. Sophia opened it. Her blood ran cold. It was a ledger. Names, dates, amounts. Amanda Hughes, $300,000. Melissa Tran, $6 million. Rachel King, $200,000. And there, on the last page, Sophia Martinez, $43 million, pending. But that wasn't what made her hands shake. Below her name was another entry. Elena Volkov, $87 million, in progress. There was a date next to Elena's name. Next month. Marcus was already lining up his next victim. Sophia grabbed her phone and called Damien. We have a problem. 20 minutes later, Damien was at her door, along with Jennifer Walsh and a cybercrime specialist named Aaron Chen. Who's Elena Volkov? Sophia demanded, showing them the notebook. Aaron typed rapidly on his laptop. Elena Volkov, age 28, Russian heiress, relocated to New York 6 months ago. Her father is Dmitry Volkov, oil magnate. She's worth approximately $87 million personally, with access to billions more through family trusts. Marcus is in jail, Jennifer said. How could he be targeting someone new? He has a partner, Damien realized. Someone on the outside who's continuing the operation. Sophia flipped through more pages in the notebook. There are phone numbers here. Accounts. Meeting locations. This is his entire operation. We need to warn Elena. We need to do more than warn her, Damien said. We need to catch whoever's running this now. Marcus is just one piece. There's a whole network. How do we find them? Sophia asked. Aaron grinned. We set a trap. And we use the one thing they can't resist, money. The trap is set. Elena Volkov's Manhattan townhouse was elegant and imposing, with high gates and security cameras at every entrance. When Sophia and Damien arrived the next day, they were met by a stern-faced butler who escorted them to a sitting room filled with priceless artwork. Elena entered a few minutes later. She was stunning, with platinum blonde hair and ice blue eyes. She moved with the confidence of someone who'd never known a moment of financial insecurity. "Miss Martinez," Elena said in a faint Russian accent. "Your assistant said this was urgent and confidential." "It is," Sophia said. "You're in danger." She showed Elena the notebook and explained everything. Marcus's pattern, the cons, the 8 victims. And Elena's name at the bottom of the list. Elena's face remained composed, but her hand trembled slightly as she held the notebook. "I see. And you believe someone is already approaching me? Have you recently met anyone new?" Damien asked. "Someone charming, successful, who seemed almost too perfect." Elena was quiet for a long moment. Then, "His name is Alexander. Alexander Stone. We met at a charity gala 3 weeks ago. He's a venture capitalist, very handsome, very attentive. We've been on 4 dates." Sophia and Damien exchanged looks. "Do you have a photo of him?" Elena pulled up a picture on her phone. The man in the photo was different from Marcus, darker hair, clean-shaven, expensive suit, but there was something in his eyes. The same predatory calculation. "That's him," Aaron said, running the photo through facial recognition software. "Real name, Vincent Shaw. Marcus's younger brother." The pieces clicked together. This wasn't just Marcus. It was a family business. "We need you to continue seeing him," Jennifer said. "Wear a wire, document everything, help us build a case." "No," Damien said sharply. "Absolutely not. These people are dangerous. We already know they have organized crime connections." "Then what do you suggest?" Jennifer challenged. Sophia stood up. "I'll do it." Everyone turned to look at her. "That's insane," Damien said. "Sophia, you just escaped this nightmare. You're not going back in." "I'm not going back in as a victim," Sophia corrected. "I'm going in as a hunter. Elena and I could pass as sisters. Same height, similar build. With the right makeup and wig, I could pose as her long enough to meet with Vincent, get him to incriminate himself, and expose the entire operation." "You're talking about undercover work," Jennifer said. "You're not trained for this." "Neither were any of Marcus's other victims," Sophia said. "But I have something they didn't. I know how these men think. I know their patterns. I know what they're looking for. And I want to stop them before they hurt anyone else." Elena looked at Sophia with newfound respect. "You would do this? Risk yourself for a stranger?" "I'm doing it for all of us," Sophia said. "For every woman who's been used, manipulated, and discarded. It ends now. Becoming someone else." The transformation took 3 days. Professional makeup artists from the FBI's undercover division worked with Sophia, teaching her how to alter her appearance. Platinum blonde wig, colored contact lenses, different posture, different accent. When Sophia looked in the mirror, she barely recognized herself. Elena spent hours with her, teaching her Russian phrases, explaining family history, sharing private details that only the real Elena would know. They created a backstory, prepared answers to questions Vincent might ask, practiced until Sophia could slip into Elena's identity as easily as changing clothes. Damien watched from the sidelines, his concern written all over his face. "You don't have to do this," he said for the 100th time. "Yes, I do," Sophia replied, adjusting her wig. "If I don't, he'll just move on to the next victim. And the next. Someone has to stop him. Then let the FBI stop him. Let the professionals handle it." "The professionals need evidence," Sophia said. "And I'm going to get it for them." The night before the operation, Sophia and Damien sat on the balcony of her penthouse, looking out over the city lights. Neither of them spoke for a long time. "I'm scared," Sophia finally admitted. "What if I mess up? What if he realizes I'm not Elena?" "Then you abort the mission," Damien said firmly. "You walk away. Promise me, Sophia. At the first sign of danger, you walk away." I promise, she said, though they both knew it was a lie. Damien pulled her close, wrapping his arms around her. I can't lose you again. I waited 5 years to get you back. I'm not letting you go. You won't lose me, Sophia whispered. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to you, and we're getting married, and we're having the life we should have had 5 years ago. You better, Damien said, his voice rough. Because I've already bought your ring. And I'm not asking for a refund. Sophia laughed, despite everything. You bought another ring? Custom made. Platinum band, sapphires, and diamonds. Blue like your eyes. He pulled a small velvet box from his pocket and opened it. The ring sparkled in the city lights, breathtakingly beautiful. Damien, Sophia breathed. It's perfect. So are you, he said, slipping it onto her finger. And when this is over, I'm marrying you immediately. No delays, no drama, no cons. Just us. Just us, Sophia agreed, sealing the promise with a kiss. But neither of them knew that Vincent Shaw was smarter than his brother. And he was already suspicious that something was wrong. The meeting. 2 days later, Elena Volkov walked into the restaurant where Vincent had suggested they meet. Sophia's heart pounded beneath her designer dress, but her face remained serene. She'd studied Elena's mannerisms, her way of speaking, her subtle gestures. She was ready. Vincent stood when he saw her, a charming smile on his face. He was handsome, Sophia had to admit. Tall, well-dressed, with an easy confidence that probably made women swoon. But Sophia had learned to see past the surface. Elena, he said, kissing her hand. You look radiant. Thank you, Alexander, Sophia replied in Elena's accent. It's good to see you. They sat down, ordered wine, made small talk. Sophia wore a wire hidden in her necklace, and FBI agents were positioned throughout the restaurant. Everything was going according to plan. Until Vincent leaned forward and said quietly, "Who are you really?" Sophia's blood turned to ice. "I'm sorry?" "You're not Elena Volkov," Vincent said, his smile never wavering. "You're good, I'll give you that. The accent is nearly perfect. The backstory is flawless. But you made one mistake." "What mistake?" Sophia asked, her mind racing. Should she run? Signal for backup? Elena Volkov is left-handed, Vincent said. You've been using your right hand all evening. Now, I'm going to ask you again, very politely, who are you, and who sent you? Sophia's hand moved to her panic button, but Vincent was faster. He grabbed her wrist under the table, his grip painfully tight. Don't, he said, his voice still pleasant but his eyes cold as stone. Don't make a scene. Don't signal your friends. Because if you do, I make one phone call, and Marcus dies in his cell tonight. Heart attack, very tragic. Do you understand? Sophia understood. This man wasn't just a con artist. He was something much more dangerous. I understand, she whispered. Good, Vincent released her wrist. Now, let's have a real conversation. You're Sophia Martinez, aren't you? Marcus's fiancée. The one who got away. There was no point in lying. Yes. I have to admit, I'm impressed, Vincent said. Most of Marcus's victims just curl up and cry. But you fought back. You exposed him, ruined him, destroyed everything he built. That takes courage. Or anger, Sophia said. Vincent laughed. Anger works too. So here's my proposition, Sophia. You want revenge on Marcus. I want revenge on Marcus. We have a common enemy. You're his brother, Sophia said, confused. Why would you want revenge on him? Because Marcus was supposed to share his profits with the family, Vincent said, his pleasant facade cracking. 50% of everything he took went into the family fund. But he started skimming. Keeping more for himself. Spending it on that idiot Isabella. He was planning to run away with her, take all the money, leave the rest of us with nothing. So this isn't about love or loyalty, Sophia realized. It's about money. It's always about money, Vincent agreed. Marcus broke the rules. Now he pays the price. But here's where you come in. I can make sure Marcus goes away for a very long time. I can provide evidence of crimes that will put him in federal prison for decades. All you have to do is walk away from this investigation and let me handle my family business my way. And if I refuse? Vincent's smile turned predatory. Then I make that phone call, Marcus dies, the evidence disappears, and you spend the rest of your life wondering if you could have saved him. Plus, I move forward with Elena Volkov, and she becomes victim number 9. Your choice, Sophia. Save Marcus and let Elena get hurt? Or sacrifice Marcus and save an innocent woman? Sophia stared at him, her mind spinning. This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. But Vincent was right about one thing: if she exposed him now, Marcus would die, and Elena would still be in danger. I need time to think, Sophia said. You have 24 hours, Vincent said, standing up. After that, I proceed as planned. Oh, and Sophia? Tell your FBI friends if they try to arrest me before you make your decision. The phone call happens immediately. Marcus's death is already set up. All I have to do is say the word. He walked out of the restaurant, leaving Sophia sitting alone at the table, her wine untouched, her carefully laid plan in ruins. When the FBI agents rushed over, demanding to know what happened, Sophia could only shake her head. He knows, she said. He knows everything. And we just made things so much worse. The ultimate payback. The impossible choice. Sophia sat in the FBI's safe house, surrounded by agents, lawyers, and Damien. Everyone was talking at once, arguing about next steps, but Sophia heard none of it. Her mind was stuck on Vincent's ultimatum. Save Marcus and sacrifice Elena. Or let Marcus die and save Elena. We can't negotiate with criminals, Agent Morrison was saying. If we back off now, Vincent Shaw will disappear, and we'll never catch him. And if we push forward, Marcus Blackwell dies, Jennifer Walsh countered. We'd be complicit in murder. Marcus is a con artist who destroyed 8 women's lives, another agent argued. Maybe the world is better off without him. That's not our decision to make, Damien said sharply. We're not executioners. Sophia stood up. Everyone fell silent. I'm going to meet with Marcus, she said quietly. I need to hear his side of this. Sophia, that's not a good idea, Damien started. I don't care, Sophia said. Vincent said Marcus was skimming from the family. Marcus told me he was being blackmailed by Isabella. Someone is lying, and I need to know who. Why does it matter? Jennifer asked. They're all criminals. Because I can't make a decision that costs someone their life without knowing the whole truth, Sophia said. I may hate Marcus for what he did to me, but I'm not a killer. I need to look him in the eye one more time. The truth comes out. The jail visiting room was even colder the second time. Marcus looked worse than before, thinner, more haggard, with a purple bruise blooming on his left cheekbone. What happened to your face? Sophia asked as soon as they were on the phones. What do you think? Marcus said bitterly. Word got out that I'm a con artist who preys on women. I'm not exactly popular in here. Your brother sends his regards, Sophia said, watching his reaction carefully. Marcus went completely still. What did you say? Vincent, Sophia clarified. Alexander Stone. He's targeting Elena Volkov. He's also threatening to have you killed in here if I don't back off the investigation. The color drained from Marcus's face. No. No, no, no. Sophia, you have to listen to me. You have to stay away from Vincent. He's dangerous in ways you can't imagine. Then tell me, Sophia demanded. Tell me the truth, Marcus. All of it. No more lies. Marcus looked around the visiting room as if checking for listeners, then leaned close to the glass. Vincent isn't my brother. He's my handler. Sophia blinked. What? The Shaw family isn't just connected to organized crime, Marcus said, his voice barely above a whisper. We are organized crime. My father ran a money laundering operation across 6 states. When he died 10 years ago, Vincent took over. He expanded the business. Money laundering, identity theft, fraud schemes. I was supposed to be part of it, but I wanted out. So you became a con artist instead? Sophia's tone was skeptical. No, Marcus shook his head. I became a con artist because Vincent forced me to. He said if I wanted out of the family business, I had to pay my way out. $1 million. I didn't have it, so he set me up with my first mark. Amanda Hughes. He planned the whole thing, taught me what to say, how to act. I took her money, gave it to Vincent, thought I was free. But you weren't, Sophia realized. Vincent said the $1 million was just interest, Marcus continued. He said I owed him for 10 years of family support. He made me keep working. Every woman I conned, every dollar I stole, 80% went to Vincent. I got to keep 20%, barely enough to maintain my cover as a successful businessman. What about Isabella? Isabella was Vincent's plant, Marcus said. He put her in my office to make sure I didn't run. She reported everything to him. When I told her I was falling for you, that I wanted to stop the con and actually try to make the relationship real, she told Vincent. That's when he threatened to kill you if I didn't go through with the wedding. Sophia sat back, her mind reeling. You're saying everything you did was because Vincent was threatening me? Yes, Marcus said desperately. I'm not saying I'm innocent, Sophia. I did terrible things. I hurt you. I hurt those other women. But I was trapped. And now Vincent is using you to keep me in line. If you back off the investigation, he moves on to Elena and probably 10 more women after her. If you don't back off, he kills me. Either way, he wins. Unless we find a way to stop him, Sophia said slowly. There is no way, Marcus said. Vincent has connections everywhere. Police, judges, politicians. He's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable, Sophia said, standing up. You said yourself, he's forcing you to work for him. That means he's not as powerful as he pretends. He needs you. He needs his cons. Which means he has a weakness. Sophia, don't, Marcus pleaded. Just let them kill me. At least then you'll be safe. Sophia looked at him through the glass. At the man who'd betrayed her so completely. At the broken, scared person underneath the con artist facade. I'm not letting anyone die, she said. Not you, not Elena, not any future victims. I'm ending this. All of it. She hung up the phone and walked out, leaving Marcus calling after her, his voice muffled by the glass. The plan. Back at the safe house, Sophia laid out her theory to the FBI team. Vincent Shaw needs his cons to run smoothly, she explained. He can't do it alone. He needs people like Marcus, people like Isabella, people who can play the part. If we cut off his resources, we cut off his operation. How do we do that? Agent Morrison asked. We offer the other cons a deal, Sophia said. Vincent has been running this operation for years. That means there are other Marcus Blackwells out there. Other people being forced to work for him. We find them, offer them immunity in exchange for testimony, and build a case so overwhelming that even Vincent's connections can't save him. That could take months, Jennifer said. Vincent won't wait that long. He will if he thinks I'm cooperating, Sophia said. I'll meet with him again. Tell him I've decided to back off. Let him think he's won. Meanwhile, the FBI works behind the scenes, quietly building the case. That's incredibly dangerous, Damien said. If Vincent suspects for even a second that you're playing him. He won't, Sophia interrupted. Because I'm going to give him exactly what he wants, me, broken and defeated. Willing to walk away to save my own skin. He'll believe it because it's what he expects. What they all expect. The room was silent for a long moment. Then Aronchen spoke up. I might have something. I've been tracking financial transactions linked to the Shaw organization. There are at least 6 other individuals with the same pattern as Marcus. Money going in, money going out, all filtered through shell corporations. If we can identify them and approach them carefully. Do it, Sophia said. Find them. Offer them the deal. And let's bring Vincent Shaw down once and for all. The meeting with Vincent. Sophia met Vincent Shaw in Central Park, at a bench overlooking the lake. It was a public place, crowded with joggers and families. Safe. Or as safe as anywhere could be when dealing with a man like Vincent. He was feeding ducks when she arrived, looking every bit the successful businessman enjoying a sunny afternoon. Sophia, he said pleasantly. I'm glad you came. Have you made your decision? I'm backing off, Sophia said, the words tasting like ash in her mouth. I'm withdrawing from the investigation. You win. Vincent studied her face carefully. Just like that? You're giving up? I'm being smart, Sophia said. You made your point. You're too powerful, too connected. I can't beat you. And I'm not willing to have Marcus's blood on my hands. So yes, I'm done. Vincent smiled. I knew you were intelligent. Most people let their emotions cloud their judgment. But not you. You're a survivor. What happens to Marcus? Sophia asked. Marcus serves his time, Vincent said with a shrug. The fraud charges stick, he goes to prison for maybe 5 years, he gets out, and if he's smart, he never crosses me again. As for you, you get to move on with your life. Marry your lawyer boyfriend, start a family, forget this ever happened. And Elena Volkov? Also moves on with her life, Vincent said. I'm a businessman, Sophia. I don't pursue deals that aren't profitable. With you out of the picture and Marcus neutralized, there's no percentage in continuing with Elena. Too much heat. I'll find other opportunities. It was a lie. Sophia could see it in his eyes. The moment she walked away, Vincent would go after Elena harder than ever. But she played along. Thank you, she said quietly. For not killing Marcus. For letting this end. You're welcome, Vincent said. He stood up, brushing bread crumbs from his hands. It's been a pleasure doing business with you, Sophia Martinez. I hope we never have to meet again. So do I, Sophia said truthfully. As Vincent walked away, Sophia pulled out her phone and sent a single text to Agent Morrison. He bought it. The takedown. For the next 3 weeks, the FBI worked in absolute secrecy. Aaron Chen's financial analysis identified 6 other cons working for Vincent Shaw. 5 of them took the immunity deal immediately, desperate to escape Vincent's control. The 6th tried to run and was arrested at the airport with $2 million in cash. Each con provided testimony, documents, recordings. The case against Vincent Shaw grew from a file to a filing cabinet to a whole room full of evidence. Fraud, racketeering, money laundering, extortion, conspiracy to commit murder. The charges numbered in the hundreds. Meanwhile, Sophia played her part perfectly. She moved forward with wedding plans. She posted happy photos on social media with Damien. She gave interviews to society magazines about overcoming her broken engagement and finding true love. To the outside world, Sophia Martinez had moved on. But late at night, she and Damien worked with the FBI, coordinating testimony, verifying facts, building the unbreakable case that would end Vincent Shaw. Are you sure about this? Damien asked her one night as they reviewed documents in her apartment. Once we move forward, there's no going back. Vincent will know you betrayed him. Good, Sophia said. I want him to know. I want him to spend the rest of his life in prison knowing that a woman he underestimated brought down his entire empire. The day of the arrest, Sophia insisted on being there. Agent Morrison tried to talk her out of it, but she refused to budge. This was her victory. She'd earned the right to watch. Vincent Shaw was arrested at his office, surrounded by 20 federal agents. His expensive lawyer arrived within minutes, already preparing to spin the narrative, to call in favors, to make this disappear like Vincent had made so many other problems disappear. But when Agent Morrison presented the evidence, 6 witnesses, hundreds of documents, recorded conversations, financial records going back a decade, even the lawyer went pale. "Vincent Shaw," Morrison said, snapping on handcuffs, "you're under arrest for racketeering, money laundering, fraud, and conspiracy to commit murder. You have the right to remain silent." As they led Vincent out, he saw Sophia standing in the hallway. Their eyes met. The charming mask fell away, replaced by pure rage. "You lying bitch," he snarled. "You said you were backing off." "I lied," Sophia said simply. "Just like you. Just like Marcus. Just like everyone in your disgusting organization. How does it feel?" Vincent lunged for her, but the agents held him back. "You're dead," he screamed. "You hear me? You're dead. I have people on the outside. They'll find you." They'll do nothing," Sophia interrupted calmly. "Because your whole operation is finished. Your 6 cons flipped on you. Your financial records are seized.